actually changed all film history. This was the movie that Lenin said would change everything the way the world was seen. Lenin said that film and media would be the future of everything, of all culture. He was right. Media and film are the future of all culture. Currently, it's how we live. It's how you identify. It's how you learn your language, how you belong to patriotism. This movie, Battleship Potemkin, in 1925, basically created everything that we call modern news, documentary, filmmaking style, editing style. Everything goes back to this. The Russians, unlike Griffith, wanted a psychological effect for their film. They weren't concerned that the film looked realistic. They weren't concerned that you don't realize it's a movie. They said it's okay for you to know the truth. You can know it's a movie. What matters is how we affect your emotions. How can we control what you feel? By mixing those shots, and I know you look at the editing now, it looks a bit stupid, or you look at the shots, try to look at this in 1920. Those shots with the shoulders, with the soldiers coming up, their shadows on the staircase, firing the gun, then people falling down, firing the gun, not always seeing the bullet being fired, sometimes just seeing the body, going to extreme close-ups on the face. This is the basis of everything we teach in editing. So when this came out, and then another movie, and I'm going to show you to that now, Man with a Movie Camera, Zig Vertov, his take on documentary filmmaking is insane. But when these two movies came out and they got released to the world, with Griffith's movies on the other hand, you had these two very different schools of editing. One that was invisible, that was all about continuity, that was about the 180-degree rule, that was about making sure you never broke with film. The other one was about manipulating emotions as much as possible. So the Russians were the ones to come up with the concept of editing by seconds. That if you edit a scene, so if we're editing a shoot between two people, get up, my tall person, come back. We did this before. So if we're doing a shoot, and stand here, stand okay, stand that way. We call this cheating. You angle a little bit out, as if we're talking to each other, but we're really talking to the camera that's there. So if we're going to do editing, I want you to follow my hand and how this works. I want you just to stare at them. Look angry, okay? Didn't really work. Okay, he's going to try to look angry. He's too cute, too nice to look angry. Try to look angry at them. All right. Now, it's about the number of seconds you spend. So look at me. Look angry. You're looking at him for now. If you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now come to me. Look at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as the time is equal, the feeling of the emotions is equal. If you start spending more time on him, less time on me, he feels more powerful, I feel like a victim. If you spend time on him on a wide shot, so you show his whole body, but you come back to me and you shoot the eyes, you edit just the eye shot, the extreme close-up, you make me look like the victim. So how we choose the time between who goes into the frame, what part is in the frame, where they're positioned, how long we spend, thank you, where we spend, how long we spend on them, this is how we control psychology. The Russians wrote all of this. What you have today is not the American, not the Russian. You have a mixture of all the editing techniques. So when we teach you editing, we're teaching you two very different schools of philosophy of editing. And once you start understanding why this works, why that works, when can I use this, you can start breaking rules. You can start doing things whichever way you want because it works. One of the craziest examples of editing is Crank for Jason Statham. If you haven't watched this movie, watch it. It is the oddest usage of editing you will ever see. They actually even fast forward. And you can see the fast forward lines in the movie going through. It's the craziest edit ever. But as editors, Crank and the second one, Crank High Voltage, are very interesting to watch. I'm going to show you Man with a Movie Camera because it is one of the